Now, Superman and Lois season 3 just had a crazy finale. Doomsday showed up and we had this crazy fight in which it ended in a cliffhanger. Now, this is the 4th time that we've seen Doomsday in live action, and I already have a video that is coming out about all the times that Superman has fought Doomsday, both in live action and in animation. But let's take a look at all the live action versions of Doomsday that we've gotten. First is from one of the best TV shows in my opinion of all time, Smallville. Doomsday was a major part of the plot in season 8, and we got a final clash between Clark and Doomsday in the finale, even though it was kind of underwhelming, which makes a little sense because it was CW at that time. They didn't have the budget and the means to create the spectacle that was in Superman and Lois. This Doomsday was created on Krypton using the DNA from the strongest creatures there, and it was going to be General Zod and Farora's child, and of course they wanted to use it to kill Kal-El. Now his genetic material was attached to the spaceship which Kal-El arrived in on Earth. Now he was also adopted just like Clark and was given the name Davis Bloom, portrayed by Sam Witwer, one of my favorite actors nowadays. He grew up to become a paramedic, and in his later years, adult years, he met Clark, and that caused a reaction. He mutates and transforms into this monstrous form and just kills everything in his path, and the human that he is blacks out and doesn't remember anything. Even though it happened 1 or 2 times, when he met Clark, it just started being frequent because the Doomsday in him, that was attached to Clark, wanted to kill him. Now they were able to separate Doomsday from David Bloom. Doomsday escapes, and that's when we get that showdown between Clark and Doomsday. As I said, underwhelming, but it's understandable. Even the actors came out and talked about how there were major restrictions financially and how big they wanted to make the fight, but it couldn't be possible. But at the end of the day, the story throughout the season was actually cool. The next version we got in live action was in BVS, Dawn of Justice, the 2016 Zack Snyder movie. But I will say this, the Ultimate Edition is the best way to watch the movie. So this version of Doomsday is created by Lex Luthor using his blood and the dead body of Zod, using a crashed Kryptonian ship which had a file of a monster on it, a creature of immense power. Now Superman arrives during the process, but it was already too late. The creature hatches and Lex gives the name Doomsday, Superman's Doomsday, and then the fight begins. Batman and Wonder Woman come later on to help Supes fight, this creature, and Superman had to sacrifice himself using the kryptonite spear to kill it, and also getting impaled by the spikes on Doomsday's arms and dying also. Now the next Doomsday we got a live action was in the TV show Krypton, a prequel series about Supes' grandfather. And this Doomsday was actually a Kryptonian, a Kandorian, specifically Darksparent, who had a genetic mutation and was convinced that he would be the savior or be the one to end the Kryptonian civil war, and thus he was experimented on, turning him into Doomsday. And after that he was put in cryostasis and then was freed in the present day by Seg-El, who wanted to use his power to defeat Brainiac. Now General Zod eventually captures the creature, uses him as part of his plan to conquer the planet, and sends him to Krypton's moon to defeat and kill the rebels that are against him. Now after the moon's destruction, it is presumed that Doomsday is dead, but it is revealed later that he's being frozen in a meteorite, and of course that is going to lead him to fall down to Earth at some point in time in the future, and of course face Superman. Now the current Doomsday that we've now gotten in 2023 is in Superman and Lois season 3, the finale. This version of Doomsday is kind of special. It is a mutated version of Bizarro. Yes, Lex captures Bizarro, tortures him, experiments on him using S-Kryptonite, turning him into this massive, haunting, gross looking creature. Of course, Superman arrives to confront whatever danger that there is and meets Doomsday. Freaking day. This was sick. The design is freaking crazy. I mean, this is a freaking CW show. even though their budget is slightly higher than the other CW shows, it's still pretty impressive. And it makes me worried with how they left us on a cliffhanger. The fight was crazy and intense, and it makes me worried about season 4 because they've just made some budget cuts. And how is the fight going to continue in the first episode in, you know, the epic way that they just started in this finale? Anyway, these are all the live action versions of Doomsday from TV series, 3 in general and 1 movie. Hopefully, maybe in James Gunn's new DCU, Doomsday will show up in the far future. Now I have another video coming out about all the times that Superman has fought Doomsday, both in live action and in animation. So I hope you subscribe and turn up the notification bell and a lot more better videos as well. Leave a like for the video, it helps the channel out as well. Now as always, Neddy Sage here. See you guys in the next one.